I clicked on the wrong thing there. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Music and Mixing Show. I'm your host, DJ Michael Joseph, and on this show we talk about lots of stuff, mainly around the mixed DJ, but we open it up real wide sometimes, topic-wise, and that's what tonight's going to kind of be about. So if you've never seen the show before, we take a couple minutes to top the hour, welcome everybody who's here, see who's chatting from where around the world, and then we get into the topics tonight. And like I said, if you have read the title of the show, it's going to be slightly different. So starting out with Fly Robin, she was first in the chat. How are you, young lady? John Colley, how are you? Todd is Steep, what's going on, man? Keith, what's going on? I still have to answer you back, the message you sent. I'm kidding there. Tony, what's going on? How are you? Got a few people watching. We're on like about 12 different, we're supposed to be on 12 different places tonight, but we're only on 8 for some reason that the thing didn't pick up, so we're going to be where we're going to be, that's for sure. But like I said, tonight is going to be a pretty good night here. Matthew Swagan from Youngstown, Ohio, just across the border. How are you? Mikey Mike, what's going on? Let me see who else is in there. We're watching the chat. If you're tuning in, just give me a shout out where you're from, because we get a lot of international viewers. I say that like every single show. Like the first couple of minutes of every single show is just me repeating what I repeated last week, and that's it there. So I think tonight's going to be interesting, to say the least. Also, if any of you guys haven't seen, I've been posting some new pictures on the story mode of all my social medias for the new controller skins. It's pretty much complete. I'm kind of waiting for one more thing, but I'm going to reveal it this weekend anyways. I'm going to be using it out. That's coming up. Just seeing who all is in the chat. Very talky in the chat. I love that, seeing you guys talk back and forth and kind of hang out. Like I said, we're going to just take a couple minutes here, top of the hour. Graham, what's going on from North Carolina on the coast? I'm hoping everybody's having good weather right now. We had a nice day today here. It wasn't like summertime warm, but it was 51, and I had my windows down when I was out in the car. So I was just hungry to have some fresh air, I think. So I hope y'all are doing well. Let me move some stuff around here. We're just about ready to get into the thick of things tonight. As you see, I'm back on the original camera. That's much better than that other one that crapped out on me on the last show. But that's the way it goes. Just about another minute, and then we will start to get into the topic tonight, taking questions and all that. And I have some other stuff I'm going to talk about, and I'm probably going to mention it 3 or 4 times. So especially for anyone who's watching this on demand, got some kind of cool news coming. I don't know what you want to call that. 74 for Graham. Very, very, very jealous of you. But we are supposed to go to 65 by the end of the week, so that's always something. But like I said, I was just out today, and I was like, wow, this is really warm. I'm like, rolled the windows down. All right, so let's get started with tonight. So first thing I want to talk about tonight is pretty simple. If you are on the YouTube page, Matt says you need a pre-recorded disclaimer about the shout-outs, playing the beginning shout-out. I need like every show I do like this disclaimer. So tonight, he wants me to do a disclaimer that like tells how we start the beginning of the show, so people just don't come into the show and think I'm talking about nothing for the first couple of minutes. But I like to let people try to get in and populate the chat and that are watching on all the different places. But on the other shows, I do have opinion stuff. So I will have a disclaimer at the beginning of the show like I do on the Monday night show. But if you happen to be watching on the YouTube page, or have a chance to go to Disc Jockey News, youtube.com/Disc Jockey News and watch this video, down in the show notes, you will see now links to Amazon of the products that I use here in the studio live. The camera, the mic, all the things that I use for this show are there. I decided to start an Amazon affiliate program with them, and I'm trying to work up to an Amazon influencer program with them where I can have my own storefront there. But basically, if you want to purchase any of the items or see what I do with it, like I said, the mic, all the stuff that's here in the studio that I use, there's a whole list there, and you click on one of those links that's in the show notes and purchase it, it comes back to me and I get a little bit of portion of that. Again, a way I'm trying to keep this business going, and if I'm able to do more of this financially wise and don't have to worry about other stuff, then I'm going to be doing more shows weekly, more recorded stuff like that. But right now, the big point is, if there's anything you want to purchase there, because I'm brand new to this, I have to make 3 link-driven sales over the next 180 days. That should be fine for me for all the different views I have there. But if there's any of this stuff that I use here in the studio, I go down to the desk mat that I have on here, the mouse that I use, headphones, the USB mixer. What else is on that list? The boom mic that the boom that I use for the overhead camera. I do not have decks here tonight, so I have no decks. But when I normally do, there's an overhead shot. And there's all of that stuff's in there. So if there's any of that stuff you're interested in, check that out. Make sure you do the link and pay attention as I start coming up with some more information about the storefront. And like Mike said in there, talked about Virtual DJ should sponsor the show. I'm actually going to send them a message tomorrow. I was talking with John Young from Disc Jockey News about this, and we're going to try to see if we can maybe get one of 2 things. I'm going to talk to them. I don't know if anything's going to happen. That if you, I'll get a link that you can follow, and using that link or promotional code, you can get a discount on the Virtual DJ program. That's one possibility. Or the other possibility is maybe that they give me a license copy once a month to give away to viewers like you. So I'm working on that with them. These are all things that, like I said, I told you guys before, as the book's coming out and all this stuff, I'm making a lot of changes in what I do. I just want to take it to the next level, and I want to keep doing this. I just don't want to ever go back to a day job again. You know, I've been more than 10 years doing it full-time DJing. I've been DJing for 34 years. I would say off and on, there was a bunch of years in there where I did it solely as my income. Other times I would have a day job and then go back to DJing full-time or different things like that. But I've been steady on this for over 10 years, and I just don't ever want to go back to working for somebody else. So these are some things that I'm trying to put into motion there. Like I said, the show notes below, they're going to have more stuff on that. Possibly shorter videos. Like I think I'm going to do some videos on some of the products that I do use that are kind of unique. People might want to see that, and I'm going to probably be doing a lot of stuff like that, and other stuff that I do use in my life of the DJing and being creative and all this stuff, because there's a lot that I do way beyond the DJ world. And that's what, as the book comes out, you're going to see my Facebook page, my Insta, because I have 2 Facebook pages, 2 Instagram pages. One is DJ Michael Joseph. Same with Facebook, Instagram, all of that. And then there's another one that's IMMJ, which is my website, immj.com. And for Instagram, it's IMMJIG, Instagram. And Facebook, it's IMMJFB. And Twitter's IMMJFB. And YouTube is IMMJYT. And all of those are going to be showing a little bit more of the stuff that I do, the creative stuff, everything, some stuff that's in the DJ world, like the flyers and stuff that I create, all the artwork that I do, right down to other creative stuff and other creative artists that I want to show what they do. And that's kind of what this is all going to develop into, where I can expand beyond the DJ world and just, celebrate creativity around me and the stuff that I get to do. Like I said, that's where I see my most blessedness, is not necessarily that I get to DJ, but that's all part of the creative process that I get to do on a regular basis. And that's really important to me. So I'm hoping to share that with you guys. Now, somebody made some comments in there. I want to go back and do that. Ben Getting said, so when wanting to scratch on the jog wheels on Virtual DJ, what setting do you use? I use pretty much stock everything. There's not much that I change. I think I have, again, this is not my DJ computer. This is the studio computer, so I'm not sure if all of the settings are the same. But we'll go in here. Let me share the screen here. And we're going to go into the little mini menu here. I'll even zoom in, let you guys zoom in a bit there. Hold on. And we are going to search the options and scratch. There should be some settings. I have Smart Scratch on no. Vinyl mode, yes. Grid lines, I'm a big fan of the grid lines. Jog sensitivity is in there at 1.0. Time code silence, that has nothing to do with there. Pitch quality and scratch filter quality. I have those. I actually think that, yeah, because as you see there on the scratch filter quality, 25%, 30 is the maximum, and I have it set at 25, and the pitch quality, that's what that sounds like. 3 is excellent. And if you do not have 3 and 4 are excellent, and I'm pretty sure it's 4 on the computer. If you don't have a strong CPU, some of these settings are a little too high. You might not want to use that. That's what I choose to use. I like it. It works. Like I said, I can't quote you on my studio computer, but I think they're the same right now. I mean, on my DJ computer, because this is my studio computer. I think they're the same right now. I'm not sure. Mikey Mike asks, do I use Photoshop? I use Photoshop and another one that's exactly like Photoshop, but it's free and online, to the point where I can even edit Photoshop files, PSDs, and it is called, and I always blank on the name of it here, Photopea, Photopea. Photopea, and that can be used from a browser, and it's exactly like Photoshop, and they have an app for the phone, your phone, and you can edit stuff there. And that's where sometimes if I'm out and I need to edit one of my Photoshop PSDs, I can do that from my phone now. It's a little less intuitive, because where you'll do stuff, you'll drag and drop, you'll have to do, like a right click or a left click, you will have to then hit something, then hit like Alt. If you do Alt and click to do maybe like a crosshairs for a copy or a blend, you'll have to hit an Alt button with your finger, depending on what you're doing it on your phone, Alt button, and then do that. So there's an extra step, but it at least puts me there to when I'm out, I'm able to do stuff like that. All right, so here's what tonight was about. I decided that there are so many people out there doing videos on their opinion. I try to stick with facts here. I've always been a facts person. I don't believe in just shouting stuff out to get clicks, which a lot of DJs in our industry who do videos do stuff for clicks. And I'm not like that. I don't have a need to be followed like that. Those of you who know me, you know that. But I decided to give the whole ask my opinion thing a chance, and let me, instead of doing facts and stuff tonight, I'm going to give my opinion for like the first half hour, which is like next 15 or 20 minutes, and then we will do exact questions after that if you want. So if you want to hear my opinion on anything in the DJ world whatsoever, that's what this first part of this night is. It's going to be a little bit more than answer this question, which we can do questions tonight too. But think about opinion questions, because if this becomes popular, like I said, other guys who do this stuff on YouTube, is my mic on close enough tonight? I'm a little bit messing with it here. If a lot of the guys that do that on YouTube just get on the camera and shout at the camera, and I don't believe this, and why don't they do that, and this DJ that. It's not me, but I thought I'd try that hat on for tonight. Keep an eye on the chat, so if you have something, just throw it in there. Mikey Mike says, I am the VDJ man. It makes me think of the song, I Am the Walrus, Cuckoo Cachoo. Howie Darkstar, welcome to the show. It's a really big show with Howie here. Ask my opinion, and that can be on anything. But my disclaimer is, you cannot hold me to my opinion. If you do what I say and you don't like it, it doesn't turn out, that's on you, it's not on me, because you're a grown adult who can make your own opinions. You just don't have to come and listen to mine. And that's, I think, the most point that I'm trying to make here with this, is the fact that just because some person on YouTube puts out a lot of videos and they say something, don't just do not take them for their word. Go do your own research, because there's a chance they could be being paid. There's a chance they don't know what they're talking about, because I've called out a couple of these guys who said stuff about different kind of products. One of them, it blew my mind on this, but the one guy, when the Rain 1 was coming out, was talking about the Newmark NS7, and was saying, well, I don't know what they used way back then. It wasn't Serato, it was probably like Itch. And I laughed, because it was like he was talking about the NS3. He had a picture of the NS3 up, and that came out in 2015. It wasn't like it's that old. So, people just don't know, and it just drives me absolutely crazy. So opinion tonight. Mike wants to know, what's my opinion on the Rev 7? It being a new product and an extremely new technology, so I want you to take a look at this and think about it this way. When the Rain 1 came out, they had 2 years of the 12's technology worked out before they went to the Rain 1. So there was a little bit of technology that went to the Rain 1 that was worked out on the 12's, and it made it a lot better. The Rev 7 is something that's brand new. There's brand new technology in the motors and everything they have there. So that is something that can possibly be an issue. I have not got to go hands on it yet, so I cannot even tell you how it feels like. Probably soon, because I have 2 friends that are getting them, and I'm going to go try theirs out. They were supposed to get them last week. But when I do that, I'll definitely get you guys a heads up on that. But keep in mind that one, how can I explain this? A lot of controllers you use do touch sensitivity. It's an electrical electrical connection between your body and your finger and that platter. The Rain 1s and the Rev 7s are done with a motor, but keep in mind that the Rev 7 is a mechanical push, as to where the Rain 1 is a motion stop. So there's a difference. So if you've ever grabbed an old CDJ and moved it and you felt click, 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 that's the mechanics of it. And that's what this is built around, those mechanics. So I don't know exactly what's there with it. With the stuff being placed in battle style, unless you like that, it's not an advantage to you. Just the same as I'll tell people, if you don't need the motorized platters, why are you getting the Rain 1? Because that's what it does the same as every other controller on the planet, except it has motorized platters. That's why I lean towards it, because I like it. And I really do like it. Like I said, keep an eye on my social media story modes, because I'm going to be releasing pictures. And then this Saturday, I'm out at the casino, and I'll probably do a full release of the pictures on Saturday of everything. Like I said, there's still some parts I'm waiting for to make it perfect. They may be here by Saturday. I don't know, but I doubt it. And we'll go from there. So that's my opinion on that. Mikey Mike said I sold him on the Rain 1. Again, it is just a normal controller. It's nothing too far out there. Keith called me a sellout. Now, here's the thing that I need to imprint into your brain, that I love Denon equipment. I've been DJing on Denon equipment solely for over 20 years, okay, since the 90s. Right, I need a regular controller. They no longer offer regular controllers. Everything theirs is some sort of standalone, like the Prime 4. The only way to get anything that, it works like just a controller is to drop into the 3-piece market with a mixer into like the SCs or the L, was it LC is the other one, or L something. Those, again, go to 3. They don't offer a singular controller, and I don't want a standalone right now because it's limiting, because I would literally have to revamp my entire library just to work in them, because they only work with MP3s, and I would have to convert everything. That if I wanted to have the same library on my laptop as I do on the inboard hard drive of the Prime 4. So I don't want that. They don't offer something that's like a plain normal controller, so that's why I walked away from them. I just don't have an option to go to anything there, and I'm really happy with the Rain. So we'll see what happens there. Again, first part of the night, I'm giving opinions out, and I hope that's okay. I'm going to take a drink here. Pardon me. Yay. So, what do we got there? Keith says he does love Denon, but hates the standalones. Yeah. 7000, there's a whole story behind that, so if you ever want to sit down and talk sometime about the 7000, there's another reason that I'm not going to talk about at all. I've talked to John about it, whether I want to mention it out loud, but I'm not going to, about the 7000. And that was another reason that I walked away from Denon, is stuff to do with the 7000 that's currently there. It's not a controller that is being made new, and there's some reasons with that. Robin says, why hate standalones? Like I said, for me, about 50% of the time I'm DJing video, so I can't do video on a standalone. And number two, if I have an internal, if I use my laptop with the standalone, I'm fine with my library. But if I use the standalone as a standalone, I have to convert my library, which is full of videos, to all MP3s. So I just don't want to do that yet. So it doesn't serve a purpose for me to have the standalone. If I'm never going to use the standalone, I'm always going to use the computer. So I would be more content with taking one of my little mini controllers as a backup, an emergency backup, which I just purchased another one today. I was looking for a small little backup because, like I said, I have my 7000. I'm getting rid of the 7000, getting rid of all that. So I wanted something like as an emergency backup, something I could grab, and I picked up the I just blanked on the name of it. The Newmark FX. It's not the Platinum FX. It's the other one. The Mix Track Pro. That's the one I picked up. Show you what it looks like here. The reason I picked it up is what you're going to see here in a second. We have a picture. We're going to, there we go, and grab that. Oh, that's not right. I tried to grab a big picture and it just gave me this little tiny picture. It's a little bit better. There we go. So I'm going to share the left side here. So the reason that I picked this up is because the layout, like all in here, is the same as the Rain 1. So the paddles, the 6 effects, everything is the same as the Rain 1. So that's why I kind of jumped towards this for the purpose of having continuity in my products as an emergency backup. So this will be now my emergency backup is the Mix Track Pro effects. So, and that's why I did that. So keep the questions going and the opinions. Tony said he just got his Prime 2 and loves it. Again, I'm not saying that the Prime 2 is a bad product or the Prime 4 or any of that. I'm just saying for what I do, it doesn't fit, and that's why I switched. I just can't put it to use. And for me, the Prime 4's platters are just, I don't want to talk bad about Denon because they've all been so very good to me, but those platters are way too heavy for scratching because the weight that they have, if I'm scratching and I don't release that in neither a forward or backwards motion, release that when I'm stopped, it will drift. So if I release it as I'm scratching forward just a bit, it will drift. And that just does not serve a purpose for me. Mikey Mike, I did not pay that much for it. I didn't get it through Guitar Center this time. I got a deal through someone else. I'm not going to tell you how much I paid, but it wasn't even close to that. It wasn't even close to what I can get it for on my Guitar Center teacher, because I get the employee discount for being a teacher at Guitar Center. It was way below my discount even, so that's why I grabbed it. Opinion time is still here. I'm all amped up. So if you want hear my opinion once and finally for all, let me know. But there is a mic on this. That's one of the things, is a mic and different things like that. I love Newmark products. Mikey wants to know what my opinion is on Newmark products. I love them, but they are not, in my opinion, a pro-level product anymore. And I hate to say that. And I know that InMusic kind of has them aligned in their products that they use as being a beginner type thing. I seriously think if they made a pro level version of the one I just had, bigger, better components, I think it could seriously compete with a lot of them because of the layout that they have. They have great layouts on that. So moving on down in here, Tony Lackey says, what do you think of column arrays? It all depends on what you get and what you want. Stuff on the level of the Evolves, both are really good. I don't know what you say, sounding. They're also very good aesthetics. I think a lot of them are very strong in their sound, like how much they put out, the DBL type stuff. But in my opinion, there's two things I don't like. One, they all tend to bleed sound backwards because they have a wide spread, most of them. And for someone like me who has good ears, I have to have them so far forward before I go deaf. Like, they drive me crazy, especially the Bose. I can't handle the Bose because they bleed so far back, I can't put them to use. So that is my main complaint with that. But again, the other complaint, it's not a complaint, it's an observation. To get that strong sound that you would get out of like some sort of cabinet and some sort of sub put together, you have to pay a lot. The EVs and whatever the ones that Brian S. Reed uses, I can never remember the name. It begins with an R. To get like that kicking sound that you would get off of like an 18 sub and a 12 top, you have to pay a lot. But once you do, they sound incredible. So it all depends on kind of what you want. Ease of setup. I have my eye on, no joke, the one that Brian did he did a video on it, like 2 videos on it. Give me a second here. I got to find it. It is, who is it by? ADJ. I can never remember the name of it. I'll show you that whenever I see it. It's a very small, very inexpensive line array. I guess you would call it a line array. If you know what that is, which one it is by ADJ, it's going to take me a minute to find it unless I go look at his. I'm going to have to go look at Brian's. No, not RFC. That's not the other ones that he owns because he talks about them in the video. Does he have that video over here or not? Hold on here. All right, so I'm at his channel now. Maui, that's the other brand that he has that he likes. But the speakers that we were talking about, oops, I got to go here, is the... He's been putting out a lot of great videos lately. It's tough to keep up with what he's putting out. It was an ADJ speaker that he had, American Audio. I've completely lost the... There it is. It's the American Audio APX CS8s. So I got to go back there. Apologize for not knowing that. PX CS8s. There they are. This is probably a better speaker there. They're not big. Yeah, so it is the Mauis that Brian likes. Those are pretty good. This is the one that I'm considering, very much considering. And this is the American Audio APX CS8. It is an 8-inch sub. Again, it's not crazy powerful. Yeah, the Maui 5 is the one that Brian likes. So I'm not comparing this to them. Again, if you want that top sound, those are kind of half the directions you kind of have to go. This is the one that I'm looking at. Like I said, it's a 3-piece, but there's only speakers in the one top section. The other ones are spacers. It has a lot of connections, including that you can Bluetooth to it, and it can Bluetooth to the other speaker. They're only running about 200 and what are they? 200 and I don't remember what they are now. $249 each, $239 each. Let me go to. I'm on their thing. Can't find a price here. Hold on. I think it's $239 is what they are. I think I'm pretty sure. And like again, that's per side. Per side. I'm like clicking on all the wrong stuff tonight. $229 at B&H Photo. So between $239 and $229, I think Ben can get them at NLFX for $239 per side shipped to you. But I'm looking at those as line arrays, so I'm not a big fan of the line arrays. I just, like I said, to get something I was happy with, you had to spend a lot of money. That was the thing. it's simple, but that's why I want to go. Yeah, thank you guys for checking that in there. 229, yeah. But I'm going to give those a try. Brian likes them. He says that he thinks that, they're not going to be banging speakers, but he says you should have to pay double that for those. He says they're of that quality. So, yeah, so it's the American Audio APX CS8 power column arrays. So thank you guys for tuning in those. Yeah, so it's $239 or $229 per side. Yeah. But again, like I said, if that's the direction you want to go, I think they're clean. I think they're easy in. I actually think sometimes they're safer than speakers on a pole. But like I said, I have not had a lot of experience using them as the DJ, other than going and seeing other DJs with them. And like I said, most of them just bleed too much for me, that it just drives me absolutely crazy sound wise. It's so too loud that it drives me absolutely bananas. So, all right, those are good questions to ask my opinion, because I tend to give them. But like I said, if you have the money for those, that's great. So keep the questions going. Did I miss anybody here? LD Systems 44G. LD has some stuff that's nice. I got to hear some of that a couple years ago. I have used DJ Smash. I have used the Roland 707. Not the biggest fan of the 707. I am a fan of, you have the DDJ SX. I almost, before I brought the Rain, almost bought a DDJ SX3 because I do like it. It is the same layout as the MC7000. And it works with all, because like a lot of Pioneer stuff, they lock certain things up for hardware use. I, with using Virtual DJ, want everything to be wide open so that I can mini map it with whatever I want. And Pioneer doesn't let you do that. There was stuff, that's why I ended up selling the SRT 1000 SRT, because it just had too many things that I couldn't put to use with my software, because it was intended to be hardware use or stuff like that. So I got rid of it. The SX3, I almost went with that because I liked it and it was open, and ended up really, I've always liked the Rain 1, and ended up, a friend of mine had it. I'm like, let me just come and try it out, and I was like 2 hours into it. And I'm like, this is what I'm getting. And like the next day ordered it. This is how open the Rain 1 is for programming. On the front, they have, like, you have your curve control for your crossfader, because some DJs who scratch want to have different curve control for their up and down faders. So it has curve control settings and reverse settings for the up and down. I remapped them, one of them, to be the volume for my sampler. So the 7000 that I have has a dedicated volume knob for the sampler. This one, the Rain 1, doesn't. So, like I said, it's an open MIDI map. So I just took that knob, because I'm not going to change the up and down curve at all ever. Once it's there, it's perfectly linear, perfectly straight. So I remapped that to be my volume for the sampler, and stuff like that I like. And that's why I went that direction. Let's move it on down here to some more questions. The SB3 is great. I have one right here in the studio. That was kind of my emergency backup, because it, again, is wide open. It has the same button layout as the 7000 and the SX3, with the top 3 effects buttons and all that stuff. I think it's really solid. To me, for being so compact and so inexpensive, I think that can be one that if you had to DJ, like seriously, not just press a button, turn the volume, but if you seriously had to mix throughout a night, you could do it with that, because the way it's laid out, it's just big enough and has all the things you need. I really think you could do well with that. The same way with the, like I said, the Newmark, the Pro Effects that I'm getting, a little bit bigger than that one. Still has basically all the same things. That one does not have a mic hookup. The FX does have a mic hookup. But that's kind of like the SB3. I have it there, and I'm always going to keep it. I like to use it in the studio when I teach classes for Guitar Center, because to me that's kind of an in-between of everybody. So if I had the Denon or if I had the Rain 1, those are a little bit too far out, like your average beginner DJ. So I keep the SB3 as something I use for classes on that. Great, like I said, solid, great for beginner, absolutely, 100%. Like I said, it's there. I have a case for it. I literally, when I bought it, I bought some adapters, because it has RCA only outs on it. So I ended up getting an adapter that went from RCA to XLR, so that if I ever had to plug it directly into my QSCs, just pop a regular mic cord in the end of it, and I'm able to do that adapter, and that stays in the bag. So if I ever need to use that, that's there. And these are all things that, again, I talked about at the top of the hour about becoming a Amazon associate and trying to end up doing an influencer and getting my own storefront there. Those are all the things that I'm going to be selling in there and talking about, is the little things that you may not think about having as part of your setup for emergencies. So that's what I'm going to use there. So let me go back to questions. I'm liking this opinion thing. We're definitely going to do more virtual DJ stuff. Like I said, I'm hoping to possibly get some sponsorship by them. Like I said, if you go to youtube.com/discjockeynews to this video that's there, down in the show links is the links to all of the stuff that I use in the show, my USB mixer, all the stuff that goes there. So if you want to see that, if you're interested in buying any of that, please click on that link for the purchase, and I get a little kickback of that. But most importantly, to become a full-fledged associate, to be able to have that influencer thing, I have to have 3 sales through the links over the next 180 days, which I don't think is going to be too hard. So that's what we're going to do there. Let me see here, scrolling down. What's going on, everybody? Someone, Neil says he carries one everywhere as a backup. As small as they are. Hold on here. I'm going to lean over here. So this is my case that the SB3 is in. And not only is it in here, but all the cables, because it doesn't go to about right there. So this is all open space. And I have all the cables in there. So when I grab this and go out, everything that I need to use this is in this little case. And I think, I don't know, no, it's not on the show notes tonight, my Amazon link to this. But that's why it becomes so simple, because something of this size, you can just, it's so light, you take it with you. And like I said, push comes to shove, you have a controller. You can finish the night and collect your paycheck, and people are happy. That's the purpose of it. It's not anything all great, but it's to be able to do that. So I'm happy about that. Let me see questions here. Restream just said that we got 100 messages from Twitter. So somebody on Twitter is clicking on that. Appreciate that. Still got a lot of time. So if you have any questions, now I'm going. Like I said, tonight's thing was about opinions. I don't know if that's something that people who watch me care about my opinion. I tend to lean towards facts. So the beginning of the show tonight was about opinions. If you have specific questions, specific questions, whether it be virtual or something else, we can talk about that here. It's an interesting world that we all live in right now. Everybody is waiting for products. The 1000 SRT is completely, nobody can find it. It's trickling in here or there. There was a lot of rains out there because with working for Guitar Center, with my signing in as an employee, I can see the, I don't even know what it's called now, how many products each place has. So I can go in there and search for Rain 1, and there were Rain 1s in a lot of stores around the country and in the warehouse to be shipped. So, but there's no SRTs anywhere. So, Neil says, I use the red SX2 every night, but I did buy the 1000, but same, it doesn't work well with Virtual DJ. The 1000 works okay, but the 1000 SRT is picky. So that's the thing you have to keep in mind, that when they released the original 1000, it only worked with Rekordbox and Virtual DJ, and I think Algorithm. And then they released the 1000 SRT that doesn't work with Rekordbox, but only works with Serato, Virtual DJ, and Algorithm. So mine works with both, and I have DJ'd on both of them. I've owned the SRT version, but I've DJ'd on both the 1000 and the 1000 SRT. It's not terrible, but with me liking to mini-map so much stuff, it just leaves me kind of like, I can't do that. Thank you, Ben. Appreciate the happiness about the show tonight. Appreciate that. Chris says, facts are great. I tend to lean that way because I just, a lot of guys who do these shows, they just BS, and they just don't, they say things that aren't even true, and then they throw their opinion in like it's a fact, and it just drives me crazy. You know, if you can't stand on your word, then you shouldn't be doing this. So we still got time. Opinions or questions are welcome at this point. I think the next show I'm going to do is the 16th of this month, and that will be another virtual DJ Q&A. It'll give me 2 weeks to try to work something out with Virtual DJ to maybe do, like I said, I talked top of the hour. I'm hoping to talk to them tomorrow and maybe get something, even if it's just like they give me a code that you can enter in and get a discount on your Virtual DJ license or something like that. Or maybe once a month we get to give away a free license. I don't know. I'm going to talk to them there and see what it does. Gus says, does Virtual DJ have a nudge function to cue a song, or am I missing how to do it? I play with Serato and found it. Nudge functions. Okay, every single piece of equipment in the world, almost all of them, have nudge buttons. And that's the thing that some, depending on the MIDI mapping, are changed. So on my 7000, they had nudge buttons. So all software nudges. It has 2 nudge buttons that had 2 layers. So the top layer was nudge, and the bottom layer, by hitting shift, became beat jump. So whatever you're using right now, that may be, you kind of twist it around to where in the programming, it may have the nudge underneath something else. But please come back to me and tell me what piece of hardware you are using virtual with that you don't have nudge. But yeah, everything has nudge. Absolutely. Moving on down here. About to play my hump day gig, 9 to 1. Have a great night. That gig. Hey, go get it. Go get that paycheck, Neil. Work it. Oops, my Google just popped up there. Super Rockin', DJ Smash, and the Groove Sound Systems. I love that. Are you doing gigs? Yes, I primarily right now make all my money from 2 different casinos in the area. So if I'm not working at one, I'm working at the other. This weekend, I'm at one called Hollywood Casino at the Meadows, and next weekend, is it twice next week or just once? Oh, I'm at the other casino on Saturday, Rivers, and helping out with stuff on Friday at the other one. So like some weekends I do both. That's what's coming up. So like 99% of what I do now to make money on the DJ side is DJing for the casinos, which I'm very happy about it. They're incredible places to work for. Great people there, both as staff and the people that you get to deal with. The people are so fun. I have so much fun just kind of interacting with them and stuff. So I'm very blessed to get to be a part of that. So yeah, gigging on a regular basis. On top of I at one of the casinos, they have bands all the time, and I help out with the lights because I know a little bit about lights. I don't know very much. I'm going to be taking a class here soon on that, for light boards and stuff. And I do that filling in certain nights because I hate having nights off. So I try to leave 1 or 2 nights a month on the weekend without work, whether it be lights or DJing, so that I can go out and network, because networking is a huge part of what we do. And I dedicate nights to go out and do that. Hit as many places as I can, even if it's just talk to people for a couple seconds and move on. I leave a lot of time for that. But yeah, definitely gigging regular, very blessed. So, very blessed right now. Very, very blessed. And that's why I think that I'm taking some advantages on some other stuff and trying to do, like I said, the Amazon associate stuff, so that if I can generate some passive income like that, I can spend more time with these videos, DJing what I do on the weekends, and then spend more time on these videos with you guys somehow. So I'm trying to figure this all out like that so I can keep going, so that, I don't know if my knowledge helps you guys. I hope it does. You all tune in. Some nights, like I said, the last music and mixing show I did, and again, for an hour-long show that is so specific when it comes to topic, I think it's amazing. I got 811 views off the last one, and the one before that, there's over 1,100 views for an hour-long show. That one was specifically about one software, and the other one was specifically about one software running on one piece of hardware. So I don't know. I just kind of think that's kind of amazing at that, and I feel blessed. But like I said, I hope you guys are getting stuff out of this. That's what it's for. I also do, if you don't know, I also do the Monday Night Chat live show with John Young and Dan Carpenter every single Monday night, 9 p.m. And that's kind of more open, and it's a kind of a balance between the wedding side of the business and the club bar side of the business, because we kind of put our whole minds into questions and stuff and different topics each week. And there's a lot to learn there. There's a lot to learn from all the shows on Disc Jockey News and the Disc Jockey News education side, which you definitely need to check that out. If you are not signed up you go to the DJntv.com or discjockeynews.com, and there's a sign up there because Disc Jockey News' print magazine is back. It ended about 2 years ago, and it's back. And I wrote an article in there that I'm very proud of. I think it's a good explanation. That the title of the article explains everything. The Mind of a Mixer. And basically, the mind of the mixer. And it's basically my view as I stand there in the middle of the night with people dancing, and how I continue on, and how I see that crowd, and how I see the music, and how all of that. And that's what the article's about. So go there. You can read it for free online or sign up to get it sent to you. But to read it free online, you just have to sign up for a membership there at discjockeynews.com. You do not have to pay for anything, nothing. But by signing up for that, you get all of that accessed free. So moving on down the list here. Thank you, Neil. Appreciate that. Hey, Aaron. Welcome. Gus is using the NV2. Great little controller. I remember first time I saw that, I thought, man, that's a sexy little controller. You know, it's not full size, it's not crazy, but I think they did a really good job on design on that one. Classy Christine. Apologize, I'm terrible with names. What kind of music do you play at the casinos? Both of them want the exact same thing. They want upbeat, happy, positive, clean music. So it has to be all clean. They want upbeat. Usually they like the faster stuff, stuff that everyone recognizes, stuff like that. So I'm playing everything from like redrums of 60s and 70s hits. Like I have Aretha Franklin redrum. I have Elton John redrum because there's some rock that we throw in there. It's kind of pretty wide open what we can play. And I play newer stuff, you know, like what's her name? Dua Lipa. What's some of the other ones there? I have remixes of Drake that I play. Again, upbeat, positive, clean versions of Drake. The other night, I have this, somebody, if you know what the style of music of tropical house is, somebody made a tropical house of 50 Cent in the club, and I played it, and they love that. I have redrums of Frank Sinatra and Dean Martin. Again, I'm playing even like 90s hip-hop, some of the upbeat, fun stuff in, like I said, even the past 2 years, stuff that's come up that's kind of popular. I please don't throw stuff at me, but yes, I do play country songs there from time to time. Again, I have remixes and stuff like that. So it's a little bit of everything. It's kind of wide open, but again, they want it very positive, upbeat, energetic, and clean. So hope that kind of narrows it down there. Thank you, Gus. Appreciate that. Aaron, thank you for coming in. Anybody else? We still have a couple minutes left on tonight with the opinion and ask me. Let me know if you think I should keep the opinion questions going or just stick to the specific fact type questions and see what you guys like in that. I'm kind of open for either. Like I said, I don't like to do the opinion stuff because there's so many DJs out there that have channels where they just spout their opinion and people follow it because they think the person knows best when it's more or less sometimes just someone's opinion. And I don't like that. Yes, all clean stuff. Super rockin'. There was actually someone years ago, because I've been off and on with these casinos for more than 10 years, where I'll get a gig somewhere else that, you know, I stick with. And it was years ago, one of the casinos, they had someone come in a night and said that, you know, oh, we might give this guy a chance. And he played stuff with swear words in it. And that was it. They were done with him. It wasn't even like all his songs. It was like a song. He knew he was supposed to play clean stuff. And he played a song that he didn't realize had swearing in it. And that was it. It was done. So, yeah. Yes, I'm seeing some new names in here tonight also that I've not seen, so I appreciate that. If you see me looking down all the time, I have the chat going on behind there. I should probably like move the chat so I don't look like I'm looking down all the time. Aaron said he would love to catch my show one night. It's nothing all that great. The same stuff I used to do over on Twitch and stuff. I just kind of have fun. I dance around a lot. My shifts there are long. Like the one this weekend goes from 7 p.m. to 1 a.m. The one I did last Saturday at the other casino is 7 p.m. to 2 a.m. So it's a lot of mixing. And you kind of have to create your own fun with that too because it's so long. You kind of lose track of what you do. And it becomes a part of you and what you're expressing. And as a person like me who loves to mix, that makes it fun for me. Super Rockin' likes the Q&A. Q&A or opinion? You said Q&A, so I don't know if we're supposed to do both. Again, I think we can open it up to both. I think it's fine. I don't see a problem with that. Still got a couple minutes before we're shutting off here. I definitely want to thank everybody for tuning in. This is freaking awesome that I get to, like I said, when I say this all the time, a lot of my beginning show and end show stuff is the same, but I remember growing up thinking that I wanted my own show someday, and here it is. I have people from literally all over the world that watch this, and I think technology is amazing. There's a lot of craziness going on in the world right now, and we need to support each other. Even if you don't agree with the person next to you, treat them with politeness. That's what it's about. You don't have to agree with each other. We should not all think the same thing. That would be terrible, because we keep each other in balance and in check. But you do have to treat each other with respect. So Aaron says, I'm new to all this stuff, Twitch, YouTube, etc., but these awesome people at DJing TV have been very helpful. Dude, thank you so much. Seriously, thank you, Aaron. I'm sorry if I said dude. We're going to leave that there. Thank you. I really appreciate that. There's a lot of people here who have a big passion for this at Disc Jockey News, and that's what I think kind of makes it special. We're not in this for clickbait, even though we try to. We tend to be, you come into a room of people, we're the nice people that are there. We're not the ones that are the loudest. We're not the ones who are whatever, but we're the nice ones that will always say hi to you and stuff like that. So, John said, Q&A with opinion. That I like, John. Thank you so much. So from now on, it's going to say open Q&A with opinion. So I like that. Thank you so much. Gus says 7-1 sounds like a typical wedding. For a lot of you guys, it is. But keep in mind that I'm mixing energetically from the moment I press play till the end of the night. So there's no talking. There's no sitting. Well, I can sit down, but I don't usually. A lot of DJs do in those long shifts. Like I said, because I just love mixing. But yeah, it's different than at the average bar gig, because the average bar gig, you're doing 4 or 5 hours max. A lot of guys who do some of the scenes will do an hour at this place, an hour at this place. So they'll do like 2 hours of DJing a night, and that's it. In that comparison to me doing 7 hours is like unheard of. So, but it's interesting. Like I said, it's challenging. Again, when I talk about all the creative stuff, as my book comes out, my goal is to have it out in May. Because the next 2 months I have some other projects that I'm doing. It's also tax season, and I kind of want to focus that on the next 2 months. I'm still working on the book. I'm still working on websites. I'm redoing my entire DJ website. So there's going to be a lot of new stuff coming up over this year. And over the next couple of months, like I said, I'm working on these things, and this is all part of it. The artistic side of what I do, the creative side, that I want to embrace that, the stuff I've always done. I'm going to talk about when I used to be a dancer. Like I said, I was a dance for a dance company, did TV commercials. I used to be a live vocal performer. And this year is the 20th anniversary of my second album release, and I'm going to re-release it on Spotify this year through a friend's record label. So these are just things that I'm just after being in this business my entire life, being in the entertainment business at some level or another, I just want to start celebrating it, and that's kind of my purpose on all some of the stuff that I'm doing, is that I'm still going to keep DJing, still going to keep doing these shows, still going to do all this stuff, but I want to incorporate some of the other stuff because I like being creative and I like to celebrate the creativity of me. Like I said, I hope to showcase some other creative people that I like, because there's some painters and different things out there that I think are just amazing, and I kind of want to. I tend to lean towards the people who have like a different type of talent that is, if they're a singer, they sing with, a special thing, like they use samplers and stuff like that. Just that's kind of what I'm going to do, is I want to just embrace a little bit more of that. I think there's going to be some more me and camera videos, shorter, talking about stuff. I'm definitely going to start doing videos on the products that I use. I have a video plan coming up where I'm going to talk about my everyday carry. And if you don't know what kind of videos are, they're just like the stuff that you have in your pocket, because I kind of nerd out about that too. And I have taken my everyday carry down to some seriously finite details of stuff that I think people would find interesting, like pocket knives and pocket tools, to be more specific, and stuff that I've modified in them. And that's kind of what I want to do, is just kind of celebrate all that, and maybe that it will help you guys and inspire you guys to do what I think is most important. And this, I'm trying to figure out how to work it into all of my stuff, is that I want to encourage you to not watch someone else live their life. Stop the reality show stuff. Stop watching reality shows. Stop watching someone else live their life, and you go out and you live a life that someone else would want to pay attention to. And that's kind of what I'm hoping to do. So that's it for tonight. We're about 3 minutes to the top of the hour. I'm going to sign off. Again, there's all kinds of great stuff going on. I might tip over for a short time over to the DJ and TV Chill area tonight. So if you don't know what that is, it's djntv.com/chill, and it's an open room that you can come in and talk with other DJs, a bunch of people there. Most of them don't get there till really late, but sometimes after my show, since I have everything hooked up, I will switch over there and we'll hang out there, and you can ask a few more questions. Aaron says I have a few more amazing years. I hope so. I'm one of those people that I don't see myself retiring. I see myself continuing to just do what I love. And that's what I look at. I was talking to a friend of mine a while back. We were out somewhere for a weekend trip, because I ride motorcycles up in the mountains. And he was like, why are you working when you're up here? And I had to stop a second and answer him that it's the stuff I do, like if I'm editing a website or something like that, that's not work to me. So I don't think of it as work. It's stuff that I love, stuff that I want to do. And that's what I just want to continue doing and share it with you guys. So, John's just tapping stuff in there. But yeah, if you want to join me over there later than that, if you're watching this on demand, thank you so much. Again, contact me if you want different things. I'm going to try to get back to some people who have emailed me this week, and I've not gotten back to them about doing live shows, seminars, classes, stuff like that. I'm in the middle of trying to figure all that. Thank you for Robin putting that in there. And like I said, I'm going to dip over there right after this show, because I want to just hang out a little bit. I'm not going to be late because I have some stuff I still want to do tonight before I call it a night. But thank you all for tuning in. Y'all are freaking awesome. Until next time, take care of yourselves, and more importantly, take care of each other, because it is a crazy world out there. Good night and God bless.